Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success, if not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
Good evening. Mr. Doman, how are you doing today? And welcome.
What's good? Good evening, villagers. Let's get it. I'm doing well. How we doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually doing pretty good. By the way, welcome all villagers to our weekly show where you, our villagers, are our main people. You help us keep going. Please please press the subscribe button. You know, the village is just dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us to realize our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today, where success is not just spoken, it is done. Andre.
Human.
Yo, what's going on, man? You know, it's the second semester has started. Have your seniors started seeing the itch yet? Senioritis?
I don't. Would I say that they have? I mean, shoot. Every time they hear about homework and extra writing, they're just like and then I lecture them on the value of it, and then the groans kind of like and then that's just it. So I'm not even paying attention to senioritis. You have it, okay, still gotta do the work. So
I was the kids, you know, the kids make me laugh. Like they think they graduated in February.
Yeah.
And so they behave, right? They behave as if school is already over.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know about all of that, dude. You need to start graduating first. Make sure you come June, you can have senioritis.
It's funny, one of my students, I was in after school, and so it's just different levels of students, and one of them, I just had one of them at a later date today, and we're doing text structures, talking about compare, contrast, in a text. Mm-hmm. And I'm giving an example. I'm like, how am I and him similar? And he's like, we're both tall. And then I say, how we're different? And he's like, you have a mustache and I don't. And I was like, that everything else, the mustache was the major one. So
as it should be,
should be, right? So
who told you to have a mustache?
So it was just little jokes, but little things like that just make you laugh. I have another student who just laughs she just laughs like every single thing. Just laugh, and they'll be making fun of how we say tree. Jamaicans be saying tree. So now she and her crew is like three of them. So I'm like three musketeers. Three musketeers. And they walk around Chui Chui. They're singing my last name in the hallway. Mr. Dome and the Soul and the Rome, But that's how I started the school year with them still though. Like I just kind of put a little poetry there about achieving goals.
One of the things I remind people constantly, right? And that is you have to have your niche, right? And your niche is from anywhere, right? So whatever your niche is that help you strongly with your students, that's the niche that you need to follow, right? That's the niche that's definitely that you need to follow. A lot of things have happened over the last week since we last met. One of them is in my household. First of all, thank you to all the villagers out there who supported the Super Bowl pool. The fundraising that I do every year for the last couple of years for the baseball. And so thank you for supporting all of you who supported Garcia, myself, and Cooper and Grayson. And I hope people come out to games. I know, Andre, you came a few times. Hey, Andre, Grayson hit a ball by Statcast. He hit a ball at 12 years old, averaging 280.
It's like a
12.
Wow.
So
massive.
At 280 feet, he needs basically 40 feet to hit it out of Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, he needs 40 feet.
What is the
actually not even 40, he needs 30, he needs 34 feet to hit it out of Yankee Stadium.
What's the average for a kid at his age?
Major League?
Because you say
his age or Major League?
His age.
His age, about 200, 195, 200, 210.
So I'm more track. So I understand track more like point something of a second, point something.
So he's in the 99 percentile of his age.
Wow.
Right. So he's hitting better than 99 people in his same age group. So really proud of him. I'm, people, please do come out and support him this summer. Come and support Grayson and Cooper this summer. Cooper's hitting he's hitting his stride as well. Nice. So 2 kids,
Congrats, congrats to the boys, coming young men.
We're pushing them, but they're the one doing the work.
Right.
So
that's a village.
Mommy, daddy, the village is pushing them. So
it's a testament, really, because even like myself and just the family that's been around to seeing where they are, where they were, where they're going to go, it just shows how much parents and other family should be there, need to be there to rear the child, right? Let's say grow a child in the way they should. When they get old, they will not stray.
Excellent point, right? We're doing our best, like we say every time, every mickle make a muckle. Coming to a championship game and yelling out whatever name you need to yell out to support their Pitbull Prime, that'll be awesome, right? And hello to all the villagers out there. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button and being participating. And thank you, Karen. I see that up there. Speaking of sports, did you watch the Super Bowl?
I mean, I glanced here and there.
You glanced at the Super Bowl, dude? On Super Bowl Sunday, you glanced at it?
Sure. I saw that the Eagles were killing it, and What the other one's name had lost because losers, your name get forgotten. They were getting their behinds handed to them. Like at third quarter, you still at zero. It's like, bro, what we doing? What are we doing? Hmm?
It was awful. Right.
Abysmal, man. Abysmal. Terrible.
It
Eh?
was awful. I think it was 24
Shameful.
zip. It was 24 zip at the end of the half.
It's like what were you doing? Like teamwork? What happened there, man? Did y'all relax before? Like it's just chilling. Dr. Brian, you should be on here because you were all about the Eagles, man. How about yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear you come on and give the praise to the team that you were for. So I saw that too. And the Kendrick Lamar even performance itself,
I thought I didn't even know who it was. I thought that the halftime show was not good.
What I mean, I didn't fully watch.
It didn't appeal to me. It didn't appeal to me.
What,
I don't know.
what,
You and I are 20 years different. What do you think?
I mean, well, first, what made it not appeal to you?
Nothing about it appealed to me. The singing, and the like, right? Nothing about it appealed to me.
So for me, I'm not such a big Kendrick Lamar fan, though what he does in his music, I think it's valuable for the culture and just really pushing forward the importance of certain conversations and equity and equality and all that stuff. The main song everybody was really seemed to be waiting for was Not Like Us, in a sense, and that was as a result of his battle between Drake and him. So it was a lot of dissing that happening, but there was other songs that he really put out there, and it was just a representation of just blackness throughout that I saw in it. Again, and then watch it definitely while the Super Bowl was happening, but saw on YouTube and I really kind of just looked through it. As far as hyping up about it, for me, it was just like, it was okay, but the value was there same way. So.
The hype of the Super Bowl, the commercials, you look forward to the commercials. You look forward to the craziness of the commercials. I spoke last week and I talked about the average seat was the lowest seat was about $24,000. Average commercial, $8 million. Airtime. The company had to pay was $8 million. Then we sometimes wondered, and there's no money in America? Because the Super Bowl was packed. The Super Bowl was packed. It was a great game because the Eagles won, but it wasn't a great game. It's great that the Eagles won, right?
I mean,
it's great that the Eagles won.
Are you saying because
on that level?
Are you saying that
right?
because your team didn't win?
No.
Oh man.
I wasn't rooting for the Chiefs nor the Eagles. I said I preferred that the Eagles won. That's what I said.
Oh, so you weren't for the Chiefs?
Chiefs. I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, gotcha.
I said I would have liked, and I repeat, I would have liked to have seen the three-peat. It has never been done.
Right.
Especially being done by a black man. That would be phenomenal.
Right.
But Jalen Hurts is a black quarterback, also wanted a Super Bowl, and they don't get recognized. Black quarterbacks and black coaches don't get recognized in sports, right? As much as they should, right? when you look at the New York Yankees, they have one true black person on the team. One. We feel that Aaron Judge is of mixed race, but he doesn't claim blackness nor whiteness, right? Right. But I know Chaz Chisholm. Oh, nice. I did not know that. That's an excellent news. That's something new for me. Nice. So congratulations to her. Right. I know I saw the trainer
Jennifer
was
King.
black. I know that there was a coach there. But either way, it's just great for the sport. It was great for the sport to see it, right? So to see it out there, it was good.
Mhm.
The game itself was awful, man. 40-22, and the 40-22 was not really, the 40-22 sung closer than it was. At one point, it was 40, at least 40-7,
Mm.
right? At some point, it definitely was 37-0, or 37-6.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, in itself. But congratulations to both teams, to meet the pinnacle of their sport. And do more. Just looking forward. All right, let's get into some hot topics. The DOJ prosecutors dropped charges against Mayor Adams.
Wonder. People connections, new admin. They dropped the charge against him.
So, I have to get political right away.
Go for it. This is your arena, man.
The Democrats were going after their fellow Democrats. The Republican comes in and say, screw this. I'm going to protect this Democrat.
The irony.
The irony of the situation is what I want to get at. Not, was it a good decision? A number of people from the party decided.
Aaron said the case is going to Washington.
Right. I'm not sure what that means. The federal court, if the DOJ is the federal government, so they drop the case, who's going to bring the charges up?
Right.
Occasionally campaign had used illegal tactics to conceal donations, but after reviewing the evidence, is usually found insufficient grounds for prosecution. Legal team praised the decision, but some critics argue that the investigation was politically motivated. The decision could have significant implication for future corruption cases in major cities. The political fallout continues with some questioning the transparency of the federal investigation into the high-profile cases. John has joined us just in time, right?
Yeah. What do you think about the irony?
What's the irony? What?
The irony that a Republican came into office and say, hey, let's just drop these charges against Eric Adams. He kissed the ring and drank the Kool-Aid. I agree, Eddie. He did kiss the ring and drank the
You talking about kiss the ring? What are you talking about?
He's talking about Mayor Adams. He kissed Trump's ring and so we're talking about the fact that the DOJ, the DOJ has dropped the charges against Mayor Adams.
Right.
Which I personally think is a good thing, right? I personally think it's a good thing because it seems like they were fishing. And you're basically affecting the election, right? That's basically what you're doing because you're swaying people's minds and you didn't charge them fully with anything. Like, right? There's not a real, no case, but you're taking down everybody around him to build a case as to he's the one that needs to go to jail.
Look at Brian Benjamin. What did they do to Brian Benjamin?
Exactly, same thing,
Yep.
right? Andrew
You know,
Cuomo,
it just shows you how political how the justice system is.
right?
It's all political, man. It's
But
not,
just
they do not seek equality and justice. It's all about the numbers that they want. You know, I remember, I had, when I was going through my situation, I had Zach Carter, former U.S. attorney, and also a judge, federal magistrate judge. And he indicated to me, he said, defense don't want to know what the truth is. They only believe what the truth they want to believe is. They don't want the truth. You know, they rather sit up there and crucify you and don't know the impact that it has. You know, so I mean, and you see what Trump is doing. It was the weaponization of the judicial system. It truly was. Because if hold on, you have one person, they come in and they look at everything and says, hold on. Then you have another group. What were the charges based upon?
Benev, you ask Roderick, are you going to vote for Eric Adams if he runs again? I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
You know what? Let's go in the numbers, man. You know the number of minority and women-owned businesses have been able to have opportunities under this administration. Real estate taxes haven't been increased. We are dealing with a surplus as opposed to a deficit with everything else that's been with the migrants and everything else. People just get caught up in their people get caught up in their feelings. Let's be realistic. That's why Trump is the president today, because his people understand what support is. You support our people, even if it's in bleak times, but they understand what the purpose is. And you know what? Trump is doing everything that he said he was going to do. And those are the people that want it. The Democrats, they have no backbone. They are wishy-washy. First thing they say when you get in trouble, they always want you to resign. The Republicans, you know what? They believe, the Democrats believe in due process as long as it's about them. But when it's about somebody else, they don't believe in due process. Resign, and then we give you the due process that is needed. No, you don't do things like that. So, that's why we're in the position we are now with the Trump administration. That's exactly why we're in a position today.
I agree with that sentiment. I think that's a
the first sight of trouble. The Democrats always say, resign.
Ladies and gentlemen, the line is up, so you can still call in. What's that number, Andre?
347-746-6598. That's 347-746-6598.
Call in, give that. He'll be a Republican before primaries.
Eric is not going to be a Republican. Eric's going to stick with the Democrats, and that's it, man. But why stick with the damn Democrats? Because
honestly, John, I'm going to beg to differ.
Okay, you can differ all you want to, but he's not.
I think that if Eric is not stupid. Eric is a very brilliant man, and he has a team around him. If he doesn't see a pathway to victory in the Democratic primary, right, and he wants to serve his 2 terms, he'll make the switch. But he has to see that pathway to victory. Period. Right? And to me, that's where that conversation comes in. at this moment today, right now, no, he's not going to switch. In a month and a half, when his strategists come back and give him this, the StatCom, the data, and there's no path, Brad Lander's far ahead of him, or Zelno Myria, the race is too close to call, then he might make that decision. But right now, I'm going to say he's going to remain a Democrat. That would be my answer as of today. But I think we'd have to wait 6 weeks out. The primaries are in June. I think 6 weeks out when that decision is going to come down. And if I'm going to support him, I'm going to support him either as a Democrat or a Republican, either way. Right. So I'm just, like John said, I just have some policy and some other issues that I need to work through before I could say, yeah, hands down, Eric is going to get my endorsement. What do you think? What about his aides? What do you think, John? Now that they dropped the charges, they drop it against the aides too? Or you don't know?
I don't know. They can still go ahead with the age and everybody else. So we'll see what happens, man. You got to play it out at this point in time.
Yeah. We got to, because again, well, if they had cut a deal to testify, then now if they drop the charges, is that deal in effect? That's where the question comes in, right? And if they didn't get some, but then some of the prosecutors are stepping down.
What you can step down all you want to, but these prosecutors, man, they bring cases. It's really not objective, man. It's purely subjective.
Yeah. What about what the new AG said, that she's going up against New York State?
Going against what?
So the AG, Pam Bondi, yesterday in a press conference said that she's going up against New York State, Kathy Hochul, Letitia James, Albany, about their misuse of power. Right? Let me see if I could play you the clip from yesterday. Let me see if I could play it. Let me see if I could play the clip from yesterday. Hold on. Here we go. Tell me if you can hear.
A real meal does.
I'll give it a second. It's coming up. What did I do here? I'm so good at this thing. It's not even funny. When I'm looking at the cat, I'm trying to work things out. Andre, let me send the clip to you.
Well, it was playing just now. It's just that you have to get the right clip. I could hear it.
Deserves a real dessert.
It is
Like
the
the
right
DQ.
Just a commercial from the clip. This is from Eyewitness News. Give him credit to Eyewitness News for this. All right, here we go.
Story, and it is nothing short of political warfare. President Trump's attorney general suing New York, a sanctuary state with a long history of protecting immigrants. She even described undocumented workers as illegal aliens, a phrase most New Yorkers do not tolerate. With the mayor slammed for being beholden to the president, and with feds now seizing big money.
Roger, let me.
New York has chosen
hold
to
on, John.
prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. As you know, we sued Illinois, and New York didn't listen. So now you're next.
That's the sound of the Trump administration declaring war on New York.
So
The Justice Department.
So, thoughts, John?
What's mind-boggling to me is they talk about sanctuary cities, but when you talk about putting these migrant shelters in their communities, they don't want them.
Explain.
They do not want them in their communities. Oh, bring them here. We need to protect the migrants. We need to do everything for them. But when they say, I'm opening a shelter in your community, oh, hold on. We don't need a shelter in our community. Hypocrisy, man. The Democrats are nothing but hypocrites, man. They want they want a sanctuary city. So then you have to deal with what the sanctuary city brings. If it has to be located in your community, allow it to be located in your community. You know, can you imagine what was going on in Texas and how they were overrun prior to what Abbott did?
So the question is that not this idea of the sanctuary city, but the idea of what Pam Bondi is saying, that she's going after the migrants or illegal immigrants in New York City. And New York City is no longer a sanctuary city. Part of the complaint is that some undocumented were able to get driver's license that they don't have access to, right? They don't have access to any of those.
You know, the problem is, Project, a lot of people in the community think the migrants are being treated better than immigrants are being treated with the natural born people here. And that's what it is. It's a native.
I'm sorry, say it again?
It's what the Republicans have created. It's a nativism, meaning like you ever saw the gangs of New York. You know, the natives versus the immigrants who come from other countries. That's what it has boiled down to.
So, but the thought, again, so for me, I've heard stories that they're coming in and they're taking people. I am a strong advocate against taking any person who is a law-abiding citizen. I'm a strong advocate against that. Right? Now, the question can be asked, if you're here illegally, aren't you automatically not law-abiding? My response is no. I'm talking about your behavior while you're here. To me.
What about it?
I think that's what makes you should be a target. And I think with this statement, anybody's a target, which is unfair. Thoughts, villagers, what are your thoughts on the topic? With Pamela Bondi making it clear that she'll be suing the city, the state of New York, Kathy Hochul. What I would like for them to do is sue the city and tell them to get rid of a congestion pricing. That should be on that list too. Maybe change the gun laws a little bit.
Yeah, that would go over well.
Right, that I would like. There is going to be a reciprocity law in terms of guns that should pass come January of next year. That you could travel state to state with your guns. Karen, I believe in Eric, but he forgot the status quo of particular communities' properties have been stolen and wrongfully arrested. Housing block stock was not a priority. System only was interested in land grab.
A land grab, you said?
Yeah, that's what Karen wrote. The system was only interested in land grab. Housing stock was not a priority. I don't know that housing stock has always been a priority with the city.
Mm-hmm.
But housing has always been a priority. So I'm not, they've been bent over backwards. Community developers have to put in affordable housing. The question is, affordable to whom?
Exactly.
You know, that would be the question that I would put out there. And that's where the problem comes in. Andre, would you support the mayor if he was to run again?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I would probably say like similar to you too, right? And but I
You know, that's the difference between us and the Republican. All that Trump has done, if you ask the Republicans their support, they say, yes, we support him.
yeah
There's not a hesitation
yeah.
whatsoever. We as Democrats always want to hesitate.
But I
No,
also
John, I think that's you're right in a way.
but
You're
at the
right.
same time, I do think at the end of the day, still though, you still wanna make sure that okay, what is it that's gonna be different? What are we gonna do? You still wanna be able to make that decision same way. So it's not like I'm not gonna vote for Democrat or no, I'm just gonna jump through. No, you still wanna make a decision. So
No, I respect it. I respect it.
I think that now that the charges are dropped, the charges are gone, it presents a different conversation, right? It totally presents a different conversation. I'm going to vote. I'm like Benev asked the question directly. I am leaning to Eric Adams. There's a high probability that I will vote for Eric Adams. I said the things that I personally have to work out. Right? Which is different. Right? So it's not that I'm not going to support him. I'm just there's certain things that need to happen.
Right.
I think that's my point.
Understood. Respect.
Right? But I'm not saying that I'm going to throw him to the side. Is ICE now allowed to enter New York City public? No, ICE is still not allowed to enter New York City public schools. They could stand outside. They could stand outside across the street. You don't have to allow ICE into your schools. How is it different? What do you mean by how is it different? It's different because at the end of the day, I'm not running anybody from Eric. I'm saying support Eric, but I'm saying whether I am going to, it's not that I'm not going to, is that there are things that Eric and I need to work out. Let's just be clear.
It's understandable.
Right? How I felt after the last election. That's what I'm saying. Let's just be clear about what I'm trying to say if I'm not saying it clearly. Let me close it out. So, clear pathway to victory. John, moving to a different topic. Toronto, Ontario is now running an ad in the United States to show their impact on the United States and a number of states. I think they said 17 states. Trump, with the increase in tariffs, right? Right? To Canada and Mexico. I don't think he should have done that.
Right.
Because
should have done what? What did he do?
Trying to get them the 25%. He put it on, it's on hold.
Oh, the tariff. Yeah, okay.
Canada is bouncing back with their commercial, showing that there will be a tariff on American goods. We're neighbors.
Right.
Mexico and Canada and England and France are our strongest allies. And you're going after your allies? How does that make sense governmentally? What is he trying to do? Right? In terms of foreign affairs. And that's what happened in families, That's exactly what happened in families. The person closest to you is the one that's going to hurt you. and you respect everybody else on the outside, but the person closest to you is the one you're going to hurt.
Yeah.
I think that and people have to understand something. The business aren't going to pay the tariffs solely. Yes, they're going to pay it, but the payment of the tariffs are going to come from consumers.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course.
And so America has to know that whatever these things are,
right,
that your body was, well, it's not mass taxes in the revenue in the pocket, Karen, because this revenue goes to the government. The 25% goes to the government.
Mm-hmm.
We, the people, pay for that 25%. So, and it also will deter those products that we might be used to enter into the United States, because now, let's put it to you like this. You have this AirPod. My AirPod is made in China. China, let's say the AirPod costs $100. There's a 25% tariff. Now you're paying $135 for this because you have your New York State tax, which is 10%, and then they're going to jack up the price to to cover the $125.
Right.
Right. So are you now going to purchase this for $140 almost? Or are you going to buy some American product knockoff that costs $38, $39 less? And that's where the question comes in. You know the quality of this product, you don't know the quality of this one.
Right.
So nobody's pocketing it. So the government would have already gotten 25% from that company. That company is, so basically what's going to happen is more or less people are going to buy this until now we don't have all of the stuff that we need.
Right.
And then now what's going to happen is like Jamaica, right? It's going to be like Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados, a lot of those countries. What's in your suitcase? What are you bringing into the country? I'm going to tax you on that.
Yeah, true that. True.
Because now you can't just bring gifts.
Well, you can't.
Right, because you're avoiding tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's always passed on to the consumer. Always.
Okay.
You know, just a point that.
What about the tariffs being passed on the consumer? Definitely gonna hurt them. I mean, I think either way, the consumer who's in a position where in a struggle, they always get hurt, right? Like if you're not making the moolah like that, if you're in poverty, you always end up in pain. But also those tariffs causing the jobs to come. And I'm looking at tariffs long term wise, not good, right? Because you end up jack up the prices, but even forcing manufacturers to manufacture in the U.S. Do you think that would also make jobs more viable?
It could.
Why would it? Why would it?
Just creating the opportunity to make it more viable.
Why would it create the opportunity to create jobs to be more viable? I don't understand.
If the manufacturers are forced to manufacture here, now you end up having people who are going to work in those factories to help with the manufacturing of products, the production of products, and it's happening.
But remember, the parts that they need are not made here.
That's what they're forcing them to come and do it here, right?
But
So
the materials are not here to make those parts.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, for example, the company Taiwan Semiconductor, they in Taiwan, and Biden signed the well, of course, make them come to the U.S. and now they're building a facility in Arizona. Their company produces the chips that are needed for a lot of semiconductor companies, right? And they're like what 95 around there's a percent of the dependence for the world. So now instead of being in Taiwan where there's that threat from China, they're also here in the US more so. And so being able to produce those chips now, we got companies who can get those chips and utilize here in America, right? Apple is trying to move from China to go to India to manufacture. But now, of course, Trump is like, yeah, some tariffs are going to be on those countries too. So Apple, you better get your behind back here in America. Will it really work? Not necessarily seeing that per se, but that's the expectation. You know, if everything is produced in here, it's like having black businesses, you know, or even in a black community wherein we're creating our own stuff, and then now the dollar circulating in our community, right? Spends more time in our community helping to build the wealth within the community before the dollar goes out to some other community in that way. So that's part of it, right? Long term though can be difficult because trading is still necessary, right? Like you still need, like you say, still need certain things from different countries. So like even food products, all right, you're still gonna have to try and get something from Canada or try and get some things from Mexico. So there's that right there. So I mean, I feel like even the tariffs are just Trump's way of just putting threats out, so that way people can recognize America as the powerhouse. Right? It's like he went back and forth with Colombia president, and the Colombia president was like, "All right, boss, I'll take the migrants." Right? He suspended the tariffs indefinitely with Mexico. Right? Given the fact that they brought troops to the border, you know, to control the fentanyl, of course, but it was indefinite. So if they decide to switch up, it's like, yo, why you switch up? Tariffs back on you right now. You know, so that's his thing.
It's to me right now. It seems like he's leveraging tariffs with other deals, right? Because then he says to Mexico, "I need 10,000. I need 10,000 people at the border,
soldiers."
All right, and so he's leveraging the tariffs against the border, but Canada's not an issue.
No, they're not.
Right?
No, they're not. You know, it's just like him doing threats, you know, throwing threats. But I think the whole aim that he's been doing really is like America being looked at as a fool and all, which him, you know, his first term in office and the things that was happening, you know, kind of feed into that. But even when, you know, we had Democrats in office, you know, Biden was president and all, you know, America was also looked on in the same way. And, you know, he comes in and is like, nah, the dollar needs to be strong, but a stronger dollar also makes it more expensive to even buy from America too. But a strong dollar is also good. So,
you know, today the unemployment piece came out in New York, and the numbers are up. Right, number of unemployed have increased since the last posting, which is an indicator of what's going to happen, especially with the firing of those federal employees. So when you talk about building building opportunities, I don't know, you're also going to lose opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Here in the United States. I saw a video, I don't know how true it is,
why am I not seeing this?
which I will say this straight up, I'm not buying it. I was thinking about buying a Tesla car, but that's gone out the window. I'm no longer going to be purchasing it. and support Elon Musk.
Oh, you said they
But
are.
there's a new electric vehicle that don't need gas from Zimbabwe. I don't know how true it is and when it will hit the market.
Well, so not to, because I was just looking at the jobless numbers too. Really, it did go down a little bit, because the previous was 219. They expected it to be 215,000, and it went to 213,000, and the other one, 1.88 million, was what they expected. The previous was 1.886, and it's 1.85. So one of them is really like the amount of people claiming jobless claims. So it's less people claiming unemployment insurance or out of job. So it did tick up a little bit, but the numbers continue to shift. This is like middle ground. So there's less people out of work, but there's also layoffs happening. So even maybe like next week, the numbers might go up, But to your point about the Tesla, I don't like how Elon moving still though,
Elon firing everybody.
I don't like how
John, while you're here and we're talking about Elon Musk, let's go to Doge. All right, Doge. What do you think about the removal of a lot of those aids that they're doing? Let me just see hold on, before we go into that, let me see what Dennis is saying. Canada does not have a sex trafficking issue that people don't want to talk about. Does have a sex trafficking issue. The major focus is on Mexico. Fear. America has a high murder rate issue. Mexico has drug lord issue.
Right.
The question is like what the media focuses. You look at it, developing countries and developed countries. There's focus on countries that are developing or countries that are not seen as first world or so. So there's that right there, the bias.
But also the question becomes, what does drug trafficking have to do with tariffs? It's not, not drug trafficking, sex trafficking have to do with tariffs.
It's probably just consequences. It's probably just like putting it's like, yo, you're not helping us stopping this. All right, I'm gonna punish you. That's probably what I'm just saying, the possibilities. If this is my own punish, like teachers with students' grades, only power is grades, really.
Right.
So in a sense, it's like it's a possibility, but I can, when you think about it rationally, what does it have to do with it?
And that's my point. All right. I don't see the direct COVID impact on sex trafficking. I get if Canadians were mass coming to the United States, things like that. What was I going to talk about? Elon Musk.
Yeah.
What about Mr. Musk?
According to some reports, there's over $40 billion of spending in the United States. Around
$40 billion of spending?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there would be more than.
No. That he, like the U.S. aid, how they're spending money, and other wasteful money.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is about humanitarian. A large part of it about LGBTQ.
Mm-hmm.
And some small part, well, it's about social justice. Let's just summarize it as that. Right? Is it the United States' responsibility to be spending money in South Africa on AIDS?
Why not?
I'm just asking a question.
I'm trying to build allies too.
I'm just asking the question.
Any way we can help our allies. South Africa is our ally.
Mhm.
So you don't agree that it should be cut?
Not at all.
What did Linda? You said earlier that Linda McMahon. What did she say about
Well, she said that she's for the student loans, right? So essentially, it says McMahon promises she'll implement public service loan forgiveness, even if Dodge tells her not to. All right, so pretty much it's like, forgiveness needs to be had, and forgiveness needs to be had. Elon and Dodge can go one side, go kick rocks. That's what it sounds like.
And Linda McMahon is the wife of
Vince
Vince
McMahon.
McMahon.
And she's also, just to be clear, she's a nominee to lead the Department of Education. I think she's, though, the Secretary of Education nominee. Said during her confirmation hearing on Thursday that she would continue to operate the government's popular public service loan forgiveness program, even if she comes under pressure from within Trump's administration.
Let me ask you a question. What Department of Education when he wants to get rid of it?
Yeah, John, I asked the same question.
That's the thing.
I asked, somebody was asking me a question of you're head of a department that you want to get rid of, but I don't think it's get rid of.
Right. I was just about to say.
I think it becomes revamping.
Yeah.
They want.
Go ahead. Sorry.
They're gonna take away money from special education. They're gonna.
Is that revamping?
Yeah. Well, if your mindset is different, then yeah.
I mean, could be good or bad with revamping. This one is a bad one. So
I think that special kids with special needs that need to be serviced.
100%.
So you're taking away the all of the money from there, or taking some, like?
Ain't student loan forgiveness? No, it's students have loans that are federal, state, and personal.
So with the regarding taking away the money from special education services, is taking all of it or just some?
It says taking away, get rid of the special education programs.
It's crazy to get rid of all of it, though. Right. I think also, even thinking about some of the things that like the NGOs and the support to developing nations. Like, one of the things that came to mind when they talk about the billions of dollars that is used to help countries that have faced natural disasters, I think about even like Red Cross and them when they went, the earthquake happened and all, and there was nothing that really was completely sustainable. I read somewhere where it's just like Red Cross left Haiti having only built 3 houses. It was like 3 with all that donation that you got, right? So, the CEOs of a lot of these organizations, I'm always questioning, how are you making millions upon millions when, the people donate and expect the money to go to those who need the help? Like, most people, when they donate, they're thinking the entirety of their money is going to help the people. They believe I put down my $1 and they're expecting the entire $1. Some people may be expecting the 90 cents because they're like, well, I know the organizers and the people of these organizations needs to have some sort of compensation for the work they're doing. But,
right,
when we really sit down and think about it, all of the work that has to be put into, the planes to go where they gotta go, purchasing, connecting, all those other things. But then with like certain volunteering organizations, like there's like write-offs and stuff like that. So how those things work, like I'm not necessarily certain of it 100%, but the fact that always concerned me is you, the head of this organization, and your salary is crazy, right? Versus someone who doesn't have a great salary,
Right.
at times struggle, but
Right.
they find it out of their pay to say, I am going to donate to this organization because I believe in the mission and the vision.
Mhm.
Find out my money is not doing what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
So now Dodge comes in and be like, well, what's happening? And perhaps that's also the reasoning behind pulling aid from some of those organizations. So there, maybe that's what it is. But yeah.
I mean, it's a fair point, right? It's a fair point about how the usage of the money and use of funding, whether it's top down or bottom up.
The whole point is accountability of how the money is being utilized. Department of Education, they send the block grants over to the states, and then how and who are the states dispersing those funds together? Because you hear all these community boards. I don't have no money. I don't have no money. I don't have no money. Oh, Dr. Bryant, how are you, Doctor?
Great. How are you guys?
No, the community boards don't have any money, dude. They get no money to do nothing. They can't help the community. They can't do nothing. That's turning them back. They don't have a budget to do nothing. Sometimes I'm wondering why we don't have any money to be able to do things, to allocate different. We have to raise money.
Side note, TikTok is back on the App Store and the Play Store.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess the deal went through. Look it up real
Who
quick.
purchased it? That's the question. Who purchased?
Yeah.
So going back to our conversation around Elon Musk and Dodge, and here's something interesting. Elon Musk is from the white South African elite,
Correct.
that believed in apartheid. Right? He's from that group that believed in apartheid, that now is stating, he says, cutting all these programs, even the ones in South Africa, because he's from this elite white bourgeois society. Isn't that, to me, and by the way, Elon Musk only became a US citizen in 2000. Same year I did, actually. Right. What are your thoughts? Is it racially motivated? Because he's from the apartheid. Thoughts?
I think
Oh,
he's a
which one,
racist. I do think he is a racist, period. It's, he has shown over and over again. It makes me wonder, this man is from South Africa, like you said, the rich part, the wealthy part, and everything. But to cut away funding for your own country, is it racism or greed?
I think when you're looking at the 8.6 or so million people with HIV/AIDS, where the larger percentage is Black South Africans, and the fact that he cut off so many aids to different countries, to me, shows definite racism and homophobia.
The man think he's God. He does.
You're saying this is a strong statement.
He has a complex in regards to, it's a control thing because everything I do, I need to do it this way and this is the best way or whatever. And the way that he goes about, like, it's so funny. People used to make fun before and say that he's the true president and not Donald Trump because everything he tell him to do, he actually do. For example, the penny. Oh, we're spending too much money to waste pennies and to make pennies. So what did Donald Trump do? Cut the penny usage. Okay, they're spending too much money in education. So what is he attacking next? Education. Okay, they're spending too much money in USA aid. Cut it. But the guy that they put in charge of the military and all the other division that was on TV or whatever, he wants a $50,000 renovation for his office. That's not a waste.
They don't. They surely don't think so. They think that how they spend it is the right way, and how it was already spent is the wrong way. And hearing some of the monies, I do think some of it should be cut. Andre, your thought?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Right, some of it should be good. A lot of organizations, I would say, some of it is funneling like money laundering in a sense. Help rich get richer and all. My only issue though, it's like two-way in a sense. How the questions I think people should think about is, if you are the leader of an organization, how do you have someone who supports your organization? So everybody in the organization supports each other, and someone in there is auditing the organization, right? There's that right there. This is like the government auditing itself. And then the second thing now is just like, well, it would make sense to have someone outside audit, but then now, what are your qualifications, right? So Elon now even jump in, and with Dodge and everything, it's just like, well, what's your qualifications?
Nothing.
You're exactly. So it definitely will make people worried, and then having access to all of the information there's a concern too. Now, he has all of these business that the government also needs: SpaceX, Neuralink, Tesla, and even what do you call it? Social media, spread it mass information, Twitter, right? So it has all of these things, really being the richest person in the world, and also paying supporting Trump to win, for him to win. Yeah, you leverage your money, and boom, you win. It's like, well, what is the value of so many people going out to vote?
Yeah. Wait. Andre, I want to interrupt you for a second. I want to ask Dennis a question. Dennis, if Eric Adams run as a Republican, would you vote for him? Just a question. If you run as a Republican, would you vote for him? You were saying, Andre, finish up.
No, it's just for people to think about that itself, because that's the concerning thing. But being the richest person in the world, you have so much power, and say money is power in a sense too, right? Like the other day, for instance, I voted for one of my friends who was doing some financial literacy for a school and a competition, and she was in third place, and I dropped some money on it, and boom, she ran up to first place. And it was just dawning on me like, damn, like being able to do that, and she jumps up to first place. I mean, it's a good cause, definitely want that cause to win, but it's just so dawning, like, damn,
money driven,
right? Money talks, right? So it's crazy. Dennis said yes, Roderick, right? So that's my thing. Like, yeah, I'm concerned, but also I'm like, can't have the government do it themselves. But dude, qualifications, certifications,
None of the people that he hired have
yeah.
qualification, not one.
And
But here it is. You know what's sad? He
Mm.
is isolating the United States. Isolating the United States. Like I had read the response that the president of Mexico had wrote back to him about the tariff that he decided to put. It was an awesome comeback. When I tell you awesome comeback about, hey, you know, you want to tax us for this, but we have some of the, you know, what is it? Not mountains, but oh gosh, I can't remember right now.
The tequila.
No, not tequila, not alcohol. Pyramids. She was like, we have a lot of the pyramids. The United States don't have that. We have some of the greatest. So she was bringing, okay, you want to isolate us, and Europe has this.
Monuments and artifacts.
Uh-huh. Hey, Europe has this. Europe has that. We're connected with this. We're connected with that. Like, hey, you want to do this and you want to do that, but you're isolating yourself. And truly, he is isolating the United States.
Yeah, you know, and
It's called America First.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on The Village. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. Right, we appreciate it. Just hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. That let the channel grow so that it grows, we grow, conversation grows, and the like. So I appreciate all of you for joining us on the Village Radio talk show. I am Roderick Daly, your host. In the red up top is the executive producer Andrea Dolman. At the bottom beneath me is John Sampson, our co-host, and Dr. Joanne Bryan, our host, our co-hostess. And missing from the screen is
Sophia
Willisey, our producer. We speak about qualifications by people who are so-called qualified for years and have been funneling taxes into their pockets. Those are good points, right? Donald Trump removed AP reporter from the press room because she refused to call from the Oval Office because she refused to call the Gulf of America. And I was watching CNN last night. I was watching the Republican. I was watching the Democrat debating this reporter who was banned. Let me see if I could get a video clip. All right, let me see if I could get one. No, I can't. But at the end of the day, the Gulf of Mexico has not officially been renamed the Gulf of Mexico, of America.
Really?
Trump signed an executive order.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is basically what Trump has done.
So, okay.
Let me explain. Trump basically did this. Trump says, if you are an American, right, you must refer to the Gulf of Mexico as Gulf of America. That's essentially what he said.
Roderick, who the hell cares?
That's not the question I ask. What do you mean by who cares?
Who cares? The Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America. Who the hell cares?
Do you think that the AP reporter should have been banned because she called it the Gulf of Mexico?
She should not have been banned.
right? And that's where the issue comes in. So my question becomes, what are we looking at? Right? What are we looking at? You're telling us that we have to say Gulf of America, even though legally it's not the Gulf. So you're now training our mind what to think and what to say.
Funny
Well,
enough, if you
issue.
go on Google Maps,
It's called Gulf of America. They
Right.
switched everything. They got rid of, I'm upset with Google, and I'm kind of upset that I just spent money buying their stupid phone
But,
because
okay.
they're really upsetting me.
But-
Because now everything, they took away all the cultural relevance thing on the calendar. Every single thing that Trump asked them to do, they're doing. So I
But-
feel trapped now.
So, but what?
that is why we need to show our economic power. Cut Google off.
Get off this stream too, right? Because we go through Facebook and we go through YouTube that Google owns, right? So Mark Zuckerberg go where the wind gonna blow, right? Like he gonna jump with
As they say,
so
what he said. Wherever the soup drop, his mouth fly open.
there you go. So, but like this is a powerful, like what do you call it? My business is so big here in America, like, and if I'm gonna run, I have to be in your good graces. So Biden was in office, yo, Biden, we're gonna hang out, right? You know, Trump, oh, you president? Let's go have dinner. Obama, yeah, what's good, bro? Like that's just how it has been. And so
It's horrible.
if we're going to, the fact of the matter is that we have become so dependent on these things. And I go back to, I think it was last week I said it, right? We look at the Montgomery bus boycott. It has to be such a sacrifice wherein you have to say, you know what, I'm not going to be spending money on this itself, but you know, you still want to live. So it's just like, are we gonna come together, my neighbor, everybody help out, help out each other, right? Because people, how long people are willing to be like, okay, I'm gonna go long enough to survive, but I know I have neighbor and all them, they're helping me. But we've developed into the culture in such a way wherein people were scared to help each other sometimes. You see someone, getting hurt out on the road,
Yes, that's true.
and you want to go jump in and help,
They scared.
and either you're gonna get hurt.
What about the guy who? What about Daniel Penny?
Even that itself, right?
Exactly.
So, but it has to be some level of trust. But the technological advancement have also caused this upon us too. The advancement in tech. So many people use their phones. Like if you have some sort of Apple product, like even a watch itself, some people use that to help with their health. But they're also so against what Trump is doing and the administration. So it's like, how much are you willing to sacrifice, right? Are you willing to get rid of that watch, get rid of the phone itself, right? Doing the boycott in that way, and just sacrifice the bits that you can too. So I think
one of the things that is funny. I'm using two computers and I'm pressing delete on the one on the right and the one on the left. One of the things that people have to remember is I'm a black man and I might get criticized for this statement, but we are loyal to God and ourselves, right? We're loyal to God and ourselves. We're not loyal to a cause. We are loyal to different things. Don't get me wrong. We are loyal to certain things. But decisions are made, God, if you believe in God, and then yourself, right? When I say that, I mean, we want to do whatever we want. So for us to galvanize the boycott, to galvanize this, but all I'm going to hear is, I like this iPod. or
Yep.
the earpod, or like this iPhone. I have to use my cell phone for the day. I have to buy my coffee at Starbucks. Right? That's what I like. That's what I used to.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell me you can't buy deli coffee for one day. That it's going to kill you not to have Starbucks for one day, and that's why a lot of boycotts don't work. And I think Sophia pointed out individualism,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Which is we as Blacks, Caribbean, we suffer from that a lot. And
Individualism.
materialism, right? Those two components affect us.
Hmm.
And John, that reeks in the Democratic Party,
True.
right? That carries over into the Democratic Party.
Fact.
A man will vote for Donald Trump because he don't like migrants. A man will vote for Donald Trump because he likes the gun laws. We would question the gun laws.
Mm-hmm.
We'll question this, we question that. And I say, oh, this person is not for that. I'm gone. You can't stand for something. We forget about community. When you live in a certain area, John, back in the days, the neighbors would make sure you know, in a certain neighborhood, you have that peeping Tom or that the few people who are block on the block. Who's on the block? Who's coming outside? Where do you belong? We are like on our block. We don't even open our front doors. A
Right.
lot of us don't even know who our neighbors are.
Right.
You know, are you going to white block? Hey, Mr. Daly. They know who their neighbors are,
Right.
right? At least 2 or 3 neighbors apart. We don't do that. We don't discuss our issues.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times when we talk about a boycott or a fight against something, it doesn't work.
Hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds bad, but we are more reactive than proactive.
Yep.
So we need to be proactive.
That's so true. So true.
You know, you know, I go into the white community and I go to their community board meeting. That shit is packed, John.
I was just about to say it's packed, right?
I go into the
Yeah,
black community, I barely can have quorum,
5 people.
right? I barely can have quorum.
But guess what? If it was something in regards to dancing, twerking, and everything else, they'll be there.
You have a higher response. PTA. They don't come to PTA meetings, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Buy Blue Mountain Coffee. I do buy Blue Mountain Coffee. I just don't have any. You have any instant? I need some instant. Right? Those are the realities, right? That's the reality
True.
of what's happening.
That's so true.
So we need to fix ourselves.
Look at the man or woman in the mirror.
Yep. And decide, you know, what am I willing to sacrifice? Right?
Mm-hmm. I'm starting with the man
In the mirror. All right, Michael. Go ahead, Mrs. Michael. But that's the point, right? So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if we make a commitment to do something, then make a commitment. Oh, this stuff for me. Oh, I'm not gonna wear this to, you know, just do it.
Yep, just do it, my friend.
You make a commitment, not about you, but you need to stand for something. And we don't do that, not as a race. Hey, Maureen. Hi, Auntie Maureen. How you doing? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not bad. Thank you. Judge extends freeze on plan to get millions of federal workers to resign.
I thought he released the freeze. I thought I heard that this morning. He released the freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And
But what he
that
has done is that he has made it. So what they did was
he
they
said it was legal.
all of the newly hired people,
Mhm. Right.
they gave them pink slips.
Yeah, they did. We're there for less than a year. Yes, they sure
Yeah.
did.
They send them an email that says thank you, but your service is no longer needed, something like that, and they were terminated. Your service is no longer needed. Your quality of work is poor or something. It's not up to par.
It's horrible. You know what? It is horrible. Because here it is, some of these people have been there for 25 years or 20 years or 15 years or whatever, for somebody to come in and say, oh yeah, by the way, I'm getting rid of your division, out. You're
Yeah.
done.
Karen, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt what we're talking about to address this. The political official has to be engaged in the Black, brown communities to gain trust. I think that's the problem. That's the problem. The problem is your palm is up.
What's wrong with that?
That's a problem.
Why? What's the problem?
You're saying the political official has to be more engaged in the Black and brown. Why isn't the Black and brown community more engaged with the people that they elect to be in office, to hold them more accountable? Instead of saying, how do you think that any elected, I have 183,000 constituents that I represent, 183,000. You think I can make it to 183,000 houses?
No, you can't.
Absolutely
You
not.
can't do it.
Mm-mm.
So the Black and brown communities have to come out to the events that we're having. We have a
Yep.
Parks and Beautification Committee. You come to it. Last night I went to the Education Committee. I was able to talk to, there were about 40 people there. I go to the Social Service Committee that talks about veterans, seniors, health needs. I have 6 people. They're not engaged. I can't get to 183,000 people. And if I go to a church, they're going to say, oh, you only come to church when you get elected. How does that help? We have a seminar at the church, you don't show up.
I will show up next time.
Right?
So I mean, well, one of the things I'm curious too. Is
Exactly,
like,
Sophie.
what-
The communities need to be more engaged themselves. If the community is not engaged, your block party, your block association is not engaged, you don't go to block association meetings, you don't invite, that's a problem.
So if the problems, then know like what is it that causing the people to not to come to these things? That's something that I feel like also is to be
Priorities.
And
Because-
what's leading those priorities?
Let me go back. They make more efforts in no, they do not.
Yeah, it's not the
just
communities,
stated-
it's just the function.
Uh,
It's just a function. Like, for example, how I grew up, how Roderick and John grew up. It's not the same as how children are growing up nowadays.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Big focus that came from our parents being immigrants, that you're going to get your education, you're going to do what you have to do in order to be successful and move forward. Nowadays, the priority nowadays is you're going to be the next Twitter or Tweak or man, whatever it is, YouTube star or whatever. So, or basketball player or rapper or something. So
Everybody wanna make that money.
shifts.
Yeah,
It's a money.
the focus nowadays is on quick money.
Yeah,
Not
quick
hard
money
work money.
is not
I just
always
wanna-
good money.
So the
I just showed you, Karen, the difference just now. They make more efforts in certain parts. If I go to Community Board 3 in Manhattan, it's jam-packed. You don't think the elected officials are going to come? And the elected officials are their representative. Is at my office, is at every meeting with maybe 10 outside board members. Right? And she did. Kamala Harris did embrace the Black and brown communities and didn't get the support. And now that brown part of that Black is not suffering from what's happening.
You think?
You
Karen, I don't know who you're talking to. So maybe you and I need to have an off conversation. Just send me a text message of who you're talking to. Doors are closed and emails aren't. I don't know which elected you're talking about. I don't know those people. Right?
Right.
We have a caller. Hold on one second, please.
Call from Tracy.
Go ahead. Caller, you're live.
Hi, good night, panel. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Tracy here. You see, I'm just so frustrated right now because sitting down in the back and complaining, you get no solution. I remember when my son was in high school, they have one bus that takes you where the school is. For months when we knew about transit was planning to take the bus away. We sent out all this stuff to the parents for months, and now you know this is the only lifeline to take your picnic to school, for your picnic get them education. And you have to come out to the meeting and speak to MT and say, well, we need this bus because this is how our kids gonna go to school to get. And let me tell you something. If 50 people showed up to that meeting, you know what I'm saying? And then you know what happened? They lost the bus. So now the kids only had one option, was to stop with the A train. So now our kids who's coming from Canarsie, coming from Flatbush, they have to go around in circles to get all the way to Transit Tech High School. Black people, I have to say, our people, we do not participate. We sit in the back and we complain and we don't do nothing. But we want results. When you have
all the time. You hit it right on the head. Yep.
stuff and bribe them with stuff, nobody comes out. It's like you have to fight them to. I always tell my parents, your children is like your bank account. What you deposit in your children is what you're going to get in the end. You don't give much, you don't expect much. Then graduation, oh, me only get one ticket. Oh, my mother wants some. No, it don't work like that. You have to participate every day until your child is ended, whatever they're doing. You can't just don't do nothing and then you want all the good results. This is our problem as a people.
I
don't know how we're going to change that, but
well, I think that's what we're talking.
There is what you call it again? It's something to do with rental assistance and problem when you have problems with your landlords or repairs. Or let me tell you something. This lady, she has mice, she has roach, she has every single issue in the book. Now give the woman the information. Mr. Listen, they're gonna have lawyers coming out. And remember now, it's Saturday. Even to join the thing on Zoom, the people lazy. To get a plate and a spoon and feed them and do everything. It cannot work like that.
That's so true.
I'm just tired. I'm frustrated. I at the point where I just completely give up now. I can't do it anymore.
You can't give up. You can't give up.
That's what they want you to do.
Listen, I'm getting old now.
It's okay. You know what? The people that came before us, they didn't give up. And even though they were older, they kept fighting. Come on. You can't give up.
All right. Tracy, thank you so much. Tracy, thank you so much for the call. All right. Thank you for calling in. Thank you. Which Tracy kind of, brings back up the point that we're making, right? Like a lot of these issues that are happening, we sit back and we are complaining about some of these things, right? Karen, this is what she's saying, right? This is what Tracy's saying. Political officials will make efforts only for populist issues for votes. Take off the word votes. Take off the word vote, because I fail to understand why people don't understand. In order to stay in office, an elected official need votes to stay in office. Whether it's every 2 years, every 4 years, whatever the case is, every 6 years. They need votes.
Right.
So they have to actually do work. So if you don't make them do work, don't say they don't do work. And also, the second thing is, don't give them work that they can't do that you think they should be able to do. Okay? That's not also feasible. City council plays hide and seek. I'm not sure which city council person you're talking to. Honestly, I don't know. If you want to put it on the screen, put it out there, put them on blast. If I know them, I'll have a conversation with them. If John knows them, I'm sure he will. But I know my city council person. I was actually on the phone with her today. I know there's an issue in a local community that she's going to, and she's sick. So I know she's attending. I know, though she's not I know others that are supportive. So I'm not really sure. And again, maybe it's from a different side, a different capacity, John, that I know them. But I know community members come out and say, thank you for whatever it is that you have done. So I'm not sure what you're talking about and why. But anyway, go to we have a few minutes left. So extend the freeze, I don't know if it's lifted, but literally he's firing all probationary people. Right? Which I'm going to give a shout out to the UFT and the CSA right now, and NEA and AFT. Those are the unions that I was a part of. They made a lot to protect us.
Shout out to Michael Mulgrew.
Right. Shout out to Michael Mulgrew, Randall Weingarten, who was there. Why is this important? A lot of these workers who are getting laid off, they ain't part of no union. They ain't got no rights.
That's why they want to get rid of the union so badly.
That's why they want to get rid of the union, because the union said just cause. So I got to give my unions their shout out. Anthony Lewis out there, DC 37, Sean Francois, right? And Henry Rubio and the rest, just give them a shout out. Hey, keep up the work, keep up the fight, because it's important. Be union strong, union tough. Let me see. Okay, they just don't trust people who have reached out for help.
Well,
okay,
we only have like 3 minutes. I want you to think about that. 3 minutes.
No, I just want to say, Karen, I've been to Tanami. Right? I've had Tanami. I don't know. Be more specific, because you're not being specific. You're being vague. Please be specific on screen, because that's not the. I keep reiterating. It's not the same thing that I see, that you're seeing. When I invite them to community meetings, they show up or they're representative. So I don't know who you're talking about, or the subject matter for that matter. We have a couple more minutes. Let me just see. Project 2025 author Russell Voigt confirmed by Senate, right, to a key position within the federal government. Remember that Donald Trump was very clear. I don't know Project 25. I don't know anybody now. This person is sitting in his.
Anyway, he's a storyteller.
Yeah. So
he's a movie writer and an actor. So I love it. We actually voted for the storyteller. So you get what you want. You get what you asked for,
right? You get what you voted for.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Mr. Eddie.
Yes.
Thank you to all who tuned in. Especially this weekend coming up. It's tomorrow is Valentine's Day. But beyond that, next week for New York City school system, public school kids, they'll be on break. While they're on break, make sure they're reading, they're writing, and they're doing some math. So, yes, you could take a break, but also don't let the lag time. Don't take a break away from studying or doing something educational.
All right. We have a couple of minutes, so let me wish Happy Valentine's Day first to my wife. Letting her know. One more year upon them. That's my favorite tune now. I sing it for everything 1 year past. Say it again. So Happy Valentine's Day to her. I want to say Happy Valentine's Day to my mom, to my aunts, and my cousins, and my sisters in JA. Just Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you enjoy it. And Happy Valentine's Day to my kids as well. So everyone out there, and to all the villagers, to you, Dr. Brian, to you, Andre, Sophia, John, Happy Valentine's Day. Do enjoy it and do something special for yourself.
Thank you.
All right, all the people, all the villagers, Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you, Mighty. Thank you, Gauntlet. And thank you again. All right.
And
Andre.
again, I didn't get to brag. My Eagles won. My Eagles won. My Eagles won. Shout out to the Eagles that won.
Did you watch all of the games leading up to it?
I did. I surely did.
Okay.
I surely did. I was so proud of them.
Just checking.
I said, I was proud of them. So
you know,
proud.
some people get in on the last watch.
I know she's always been an Eagles fan.
Okay.
Yes,
I told you, she and my wife, they're both Eagles fan.
Okay.
They came. They did their job.
This time, I didn't throw something at her when the Eagles got a touchdown, because normally I would just take a pillow and throw it at her. When they're playing against the Giants, she's like, ah! And I'm like, ah! No, get out.
I'm so proud of Pennsylvania, you guys.
They did
I'm
good.
so proud. And like I said to you, what I really love is when you give up on someone and they find their right positioning and the right location.
Oh, don't talk about Saquon. Get out of here.
There you
do
go.
Do you want to wish anybody Happy Valentine's Day before we go?
To my loved ones, family, friends, and our listeners, Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. Sorry, Andre, I cut you off. Sorry. But I just wanted to brag about the Eagles.
That's fine. Villagers.
Andre, who
I'm wishing happy birthday?
Valentine's Day.
Everybody wish you a happy Valentine's Day. You know, I gotta be mindful here.
He's so nosy.
You know, so definitely wish my family and and the villagers, love one and all. I love one and all every day. Come together, figure out the problems, the root cause of problems, find a solution. People have priorities, so you have to really figure out how do you influence people, lead by example. And then, look at what some of these politicians do. Just be good about it when you do it. All right.
Amen. Fall in love with God. Absolutely. That's what we do over here on the village. We are in love with God. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us right here in the one more week of the village, where we're dedicated to, where we continue to say, like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we're dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us to realize our dreams at any age, at any point, started from today. Success is not just spoken, it is done. Enjoy the Valentine's Day. Enjoy your weekend. God bless.
Good night.
Good night.
Peace out.